The storm had barely passed when John, Cutter, once the toughest cowboy in 3 counties, heard the thundering hooves outside his ranch. His heart tightened. His daughters, Lily and Rose, had been gone since sunrise, and darkness was already settling over the land. When he rushed outside, he didn't expect to see both girls riding back, soaked, shivering, and helping a beautiful Apache woman who looked moments away from collapsing. John froze. In all his years of raising 2 daughters alone, this was the first time he saw fear and determination burning together in their eyes. "Daddy, she needed help," Lily whispered. And just like that, everything in John's quiet, lonely world began to change. Before we continue this powerful story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Heart Trail Stories, where every story reminds us that kindness still matters. The woman's name was Naira, quiet, graceful, and carrying a sadness deeper than nightfall. John knew hardship when he saw it, but the way she held her breath like she wasn't sure she deserved safety shook something inside him. He made her tea. He gave her the girl's spare quilt. But what surprised him most was how naturally she slipped into their little world. By the second morning, Rose was already showing Naira the newborn calves. Lily braided flowers into her long raven black hair, and John found himself watching. Too long, too quietly. But kindness has a rhythm, and sometimes it leads you somewhere you didn't expect. The twist. On the 4th day, Naira finally spoke the truth. "I was running," she said softly. "Not from danger, but from people who said I was too broken to belong anywhere." She showed John a faded scar across her shoulder, a mark from a fire she survived as a child. Her tribe believed she carried bad omen, so she walked away, to spare them the burden. John felt his chest tighten. He remembered how the town used to whisper about him. The widowed cowboy who couldn't save his wife. He knew what it felt like. To be judged for surviving. Naira wasn't broken. She was brave. The emotional climax. That evening, the wind turned cold again. The cattle spooked. A young calf got trapped near the ravine, crying, slipping, terrified. Before John could saddle his horse, Naira darted into the darkness. John chased after her, heart pounding, only to find her kneeling in the mud, holding the trembling calf against her chest. The storm roared. Lightning cracked the sky. But she didn't move. "Everything deserves a chance," she whispered. "Even when the world says you don't." And right there under the furious sky, John felt something shift deep inside him. He saw strength. He saw heart. He saw a woman who had been thrown away, still choosing to save something small, scared, and helpless. A woman just like him. When they returned to the barn, both covered in mud, Lily grabbed Naira's hand and said, "Please don't go." John didn't say anything. But he didn't have to. His eyes gave him away. The ending, warm, hopeful, uplifting. Weeks passed. The ranch changed, gentler, lighter. Filled with laughter John didn't realize he had been missing. Naira taught the girls Apache lullabies. She carved small wooden charms for the horses. She brought life back into every corner of the home. One evening, as the sunset painted the sky orange, John stood beside her on the porch. "You belong here," he said quietly. "Not because we found you, but because you found us." Naira's eyes softened, finally believing it. And sometimes, that's all a person needs. A place where their scars don't scare anyone. A place where kindness grows like wildflowers. A place to heal. John Cutter had lived as a single cowboy for years. But it only took one act of compassion to give his daughters a sister, his home a heartbeat, and his lonely life a second chance.